Serge, talking to one of my boys, number 6, and I thought I'd just...
Well, I guess you didn't come back, Black Diamond. I'll get with you. Hey, Black Diamond, I'm reading the mail. You about 20 dBs too. I'm back 10-7.
Yeah, alright there, number 6, man. I'm just talking to number 13 of the boys, Waffle, man. Yeah, he told me to say good day to you there. And I'll be back out. Yeah, no, you're doing about 20 to 30 over yourself. Alright, I'm back reading this mail. Hang on, I've got a gate rolling too.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate it. Alright, when we get out 13, bro, I'm back listening. I just wanted to key on that first to number 6 with your big DB self. I get with you.
Yeah, do you know where to look for it there at all, number 6, or you're not too sure?
I'm gonna get out there and try it again. 744.
Southern California there. Gotcha.
Hey, Waffle, man, you still out and about, mate?
This is 087 West sitting here on the I'm sitting in the way. 007.
Oh, alright, just sort of bump it down one there, Waffle, man.
007.
Yeah, about it there, number 13, you reading the mail? Alright there, Waffle, man, I'm going to get back with you.
There's a lot going on. I got 007 coming in from New Zealand, and there's a bunch of them in there. I'll just take a standby. I get you there, Black Diamond. 919. Big and strong.
Yeah, alright there, 919, no worries, man. I was going to tell you to jump down to channel 10 there, 14.
007 here in New Zealand. We'll be sitting on the side. Roger, roger.
Channel 10, channel 10. Yeah, about it. You there out and about there, mate?
I'm here, go ahead. Loud and clear.
Oh, I just thought I'll do the right thing and say g'day to you in a sort of personal level, because there's a bit of traffic out there, and sometimes we play not quite with the rules. We have some favourites we always like to say g'day there, Ted4.
Roger on that. Yeah, it sounds like we've got some of those odd conditions where the signal kind of waves up and down and then it flutters a little bit. I don't know how you're copying me, but that's the experience that I'm getting. But when you're in there, you're really solid there. Go ahead.
I call them the Waffle conditions.
Yeah, but I think the chocolate's flaking off because it's too old.
Yeah, no worries. I've got you too rolling on one of my video gates, which I'll be posting when I get a little bit of time there, the Temple.
Roger on that. Yeah, I've been kind of out of the loop for a while, and I haven't been on the radio much. I don't know how the conditions have been, but I had to fly to Maryland for work, and I was there for a few days, and then I was gone last weekend on my little outing, and yeah, I just haven't had much radio time in the last week there, guy.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. No, I've been sort of busy off the radio from time to time. I've had me odd days here and there where I get in, and then other days I just don't have the time to get on at all. But since I last spoke to you, I had my other antenna on, and now we've put that down. I'm working off something quite a fair bit bigger there, Temple.
Oh, roger on that. And it's working out good for you, then go ahead.
Yeah, I pulled down the 107 Mako, which was still a brilliant antenna, I must say, but we replaced it with a homebrew made by 777. Yeah, 65 foot boom, also a 7 element.
Yeah, but it's stretched, so it's what we would call a, more commonly referred to as a long john type antenna there. Go ahead.
Yeah, what is it? A stretched, what do we call them? A long spaced Yagi there, 10-4?
That's right. There was a company, or a couple of companies that used to make them years ago, the stretched out Yagis, and they called them long johns. Go ahead.
There used to be a guy many years ago I used to talk to, and he used to be in California on 38 lower sideband, Sant Valentino or something like that in California. I can't remember now off by hand. And he used to come in, like you'd get 38 lower sideband stateside coming in on 5s and 7s, 3s, 5s, 7s at the most. And every time he'd key up, he'd be 9, 10 over, 15 over. And he used to say he was running one of those, so I think they certainly do work there, Temple.
Oh, absolutely. Do you find that it seems to be more of a narrow beam width? And how's the bandwidth? Is the bandwidth okay, or does it narrow right down too?
The directivity of it is more narrow. It's more sort of selective. It's more blind on the sides and what have you. It's very good hearing on the front, of course. Bandwidth, the 107 Mako was probably slightly more narrow. I don't know what they did to that antenna, but it was extremely narrow. It only covered 3 channels, and this one probably covers about 5. Which good for my liking anyway. We did, well, I didn't, but 777 worked on it to make it very narrow as well, to give it a bit more gain there. Number 13.
Wow, Roger on that. Yeah, well, I got lucky with my 105, I guess, because the beam width is not bad. It's not as narrow as I thought it would be, which is okay with me. I'm alright with that. I don't have to turn it around as much. The bandwidth was amazing. All across the hour 40 channels here, and then plus some, of course. My SWR never goes over a 1.2, and it runs anywhere from about 47 to about 52, maybe 53 ohms, all the way across the band. And it just came out beautiful. But in order to get the match and everything, as I was adjusting the gamma match, I also adjusted the length of the driven element a little bit also, just to kind of pinpoint it in, and I got that thing just dialed in perfect there. Go ahead.
Oh, well, sounds like you know what you're doing. With these things, they can be a little bit tricky, when it comes to all of that. And sometimes you can play around with certain things, and it's like opening a can of worms, and sometimes you've got to sort of start back from scratch and put it all back to where it was and sort of see what you could take off from there. But no, look, I'm very happy with this. Look, I made it to work for these channels here, strictly AM, strictly chopsticks and channel 6 Super Bowl, so pretty much I'm happy with it. The SWR is about 1.1, say, on channel 8, about 1.1.5 on 11, about 1.1 on 6, and about 1.1.5 on 2. So it does dip down to where I want to use it there, which is what what I want anyway. Not that it really matters all that much, 1.1 or 1.2, but hey, if you can get it lower, why not?
all the elements and the length of the elements and all that. And you know, it could be off by a line width of your marking pencil or whatever. You know, there's all kinds of different variables that you know, can change the characteristics of the antenna. And like I said, sometimes you end up opening up a can of worms and you have to start all over again from square one, and sometimes it just works to your advantage. And I guess in my case, it worked to my advantage. The other thing that I did that I think is going to work out very well is when I built the elements, I used nylon rope and put it inside the elements and stretched it real tight and feathered it or spread it out, expanded it, and wrapped it around the end of the element, and then slid the rubber caps over the end of that, and then wrapped it with electrical tape. And that's supposed to keep the elements more rigid, keeps them from singing in the wind, and it also keeps it from cracking from stress cracks from the wind there. Go ahead.
Oh, I did not know that. That sounds good. Yeah, I never heard of that one, but there you go. Yeah, why not? Look, while it's down, make the most of what you can while it's down there, because you want to put it up there and you want it to last forever. You know, the worst thing you could do is bring it down, up, down, up, down, up all the time. Every 2 months or whatever, bring it down because you're not happy with something or something's moved. You know, so why not? One extra day or a few extra hours or whatever the case may be is worth that peace of mind. And you do it once, you do it right, and it should stay up there for a very, very, very long time, and you should leave it alone. So that's good. Another method too, they say, is getting rope and you wind it around like a helical. Keep winding it around, and they reckon that breaks the wind load. The wind skims off it, and it doesn't give it any wind resistance. Any the wind skims off it, and it doesn't. There's no resistance on the antenna, they say. I was thinking of doing that, but I thought, nah, it's going to look ugly.
Yeah, although it seems to me that might also retain some moisture, you know, from rain and whatnot, and it could cause you some problems until it dries out.
Yeah, maybe so, it might. Yeah, yet again, I don't know. If the antenna's pretty wet. My other antenna was so narrow, only covered 3 channels, that if it started to rain just a little bit, my reflected would go through the roof. And as soon as it dry up, it'd go back to, you know, 4 or 5 watts reflected again. This is better anyway than the other antenna as far as the VSWR goes. Anyway, I'm happy with it. It's doing its thing.
No doubt. Haven't missed a single word of what you said, so it's definitely working for you. Of course, you know, we've got good conditions and all that, you know, that all adds up to it, but having a good antenna can make all the difference in the world when conditions are fluctuating and you can just hang around.